Right, should we just go for it then?
Aye.
Right, 3, 2, 1, bang. Welcome to the Eggman Show. My name's Forbes.
My name's Scotty Paws.
And we've got the brother for another mother on here, Lee JC.
The man.
Or Brer, as they call it. Straight out of Cowden. Get that wee mic closer to you, my man.
Oh, is this, get that
Pop
right
that to
fucking
you.
right in my puss. Like fucking crust of the clown, man. What we saying anyway, boys?
Long time no see.
It's been too fucking long, man. What's been happening?
Too
Not
much,
much,
just
man.
got this place looking tip top and
By the way, first thoughts when I walked in was like, fucking right. It's looking good.
It's looking class. We've got
Boys
this
have been
podcast
busy.
on the go. We've been busy. What you been up to then?
I've been busy, man. I would fucking love to say it's been indulged in music, looked in a room where we had all the fucking time in the world, but nah.
I'm the same, man. I thought that when lockdown happened, I'd be like, this is the time to write the tunes.
Well,
and I just lost focus after the first week.
I was full of fucking good intentions for that, like that. I'd bought new notepads and fucking everything. Like I was ready to go, man, and fucking it didn't happen. Like
it's inspiration for me is kind of lacking because I take a lot of stuff that happens on the outside and I tend to like not look at the news and stuff nowadays because it makes me feel
I know.
Oh,
shit. So
totally, man. Totally.
it's inspiration that I'm finding a bit hard to get the now, but hopefully
See,
it'll
being
come
back in here is giving me a bit more drive.
Giving you a bit more inspiration in that. Aye. Hopefully that happens with me when I go home tonight then.
Well, man, it's the Eggman's magic
spark.
touch.
Aye, the wee
It's
fucking-
gave you the touch.
The mojo. Fucking mojo happening again, boys.
So what was the first gig you went to? First live gig?
Do I need to, man?
Be honest with us.
Honestly, the first gig I ever went to was fucking Robbie Williams at had the football top and everything. But here, what a fucking showman that man is.
what year was that?
I must have been about 10-year-old, so like
That'll be when he was like peaking in his solo career.
that's when he was the Don, like you know what I mean?
Don
Like,
Williams.
there wasn't any cooler than fucking big fucking Robbo back then, like. But aye, that was the first gig I ever went to.
Whereabouts was that?
Hamden,
aye.
It was weird going to my first gig with my fucking ma and her pals. Like, fuck it, you got to start somewhere.
I mind you told that story when you went to see the Bay City Rollers with your mum and the family.
I went to see the Bay City Rollers
You
in
went to see
Edinburgh.
that? Aye, my dad fucking ran one of them off his fucking Harley Davidson when he was a bus driver. I swear he skittled him at the fucking roundabout at the wee Asda down the road there. Honestly, absolute whack the cunt.
What one?
Oh fuck no, Daddy Ken. I'll need to ask him what one it was. Like he can't. It was
Bay
the first
City
thing he
Rollers on
said.
the road.
Oh aye, fucking rolled him fucking clean off the fucking roundabout.
I did not expect that.
Okay, no.
Aye, no doubt. Like that's my dad's claim to fame. He skittled a Bay City roller off his fucking motorbike.
Fuck's
That's brilliant.
sake. Bay City Rollers or some band.
Shang-a-lang.
Well, funny enough, I seen them in Edinburgh. It was the weirdest gig I've ever been to. I was only 21-year-old male in the crowd.
Oh, you must have been.
It was grannies just decked in tartan and stuff. And then they were playing at the Alhambra, or Les McEwen's Bay City Rollers, the singer.
Aye.
And he was playing at the Alhambra. We were going over to see Domiciles. They were playing at the British Legion.
The
And there was
Legion
grannies outside the Legion. And there was grannies outside.
Aye.
And I was like, oh, they must be going to see the Bay City Rollers. And I just went, shang-a-lang. And all the grannies were like, shang-a-lang.
fucking crowd surfing it. By the way, our generation didn't realise how big the Bay City Rollers were.
They were
Right?
fucking
You
huge
see
at one
videos of
point.
them on like BBC Scotland or at like Hogmanay and that. They played all gigs and they're like in fucking China and these wee fucking Chinese lassies are bawling their fucking eyes out because the Bay City Rollers are standing on the fucking stage with their fucking...
They were huge at one point. Roller Mania.
I didn't realise how big they were until you told me.
People were saying that it was like see, we had Beatlemania.
Aye.
People were saying that it was similar to that.
Aye.
Obviously, it
it
never
was
went
massive.
nowhere near as far as that. Eventually, they came down pretty quick.
Aye.
But
Were they just right after the Beatles or around about the same time? Or?
The 70s, I think.
Nah,
Was it
70s,
70s?
Rollers,
So
aye.
right after.
I think so.
Aye.
but they were the first band that appealed to like fucking 12-year-olds
Aye.
pretty much. The Beatles appealed to everybody, but they were the first like clean cut sort of boy band.
Aye, yeah.
But and they had a dodgy manager as well, Tam Payton, I think he was called.
All right.
Aye.
He
Big
ripped-
dodgy Tom.
Dodgy. And he ripped them off at all their money,
Aye.
so they never made a penny.
No, that's why he was scooting about the town on a fucking chopper. getting rattled off bendy buses. Fucking funny speeds. 15 mile an hour. Clattered. Aye.
So what was it that... When did you first realise that you were mad on hip-hop?
When I was about... Fuck, what year did the Marshall Mathers LP come out? So about 9 or 10.
Class album.
About 10, aye. About 10. I was still at primary school. And that was the album, like, I'd never really paid much attention to it. I mean, before that, there wasn't a lot that I'd heard, obviously. My parents are that were really into that kind of music. That was that album come out, and because it was so notorious and so fucking controversial, and
We
it
were
was,
talking about this
it was
the
all
other day.
over the papers.
Yeah.
Didn't let your fucking bairn listen to this album, or he'll
I
fucking
remember
turn
that.
into an absolute gun-wielding fucking lunatic and crackhead fucking nut job that wants to kick fuck out his mom. But and honestly, never taken crack once after that. But,
We were talking about the other day, like rebelling against your parents' music and
I
stuff.
know. And then sometimes you end up going back.
That was
And
the
you
best
enjoy
selling
it.
point.
Yeah.
The best selling point you could ever had is parental advisory on whatever you're trying to fucking sell.
And they do this anyway.
Oh,
yeah.
aye, 100%. Like, if
So
you didn't,
what year would have that been, that LP? Was that early 2000s?
I think it was 2000.
2000.
Late 90s?
I think it was 2000. And then after that, like, that was me fucking sort of opened the door to listening to more. And then obviously you listen to Eminem enough, you hear Dr. Dre, you listen to Dr. Dre long enough, you
2001.
hear fucking
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg, you listen to Snoop Dogg enough, you hear fucking Ice Cube, do you know what I mean? And it just, by the end, yeah.
Do you feel like the further back you go, the more inspiration you get, or do you like modern stuff just
I
as
used
much?
I used to. It was Eminem was my fucking hero, and obviously Tupac and Biggie. Once I had my eyes opened with them, Busta Rhymes and things like that. And then, but see now I'm like, my favourite lyricist, and I honestly think he's up there with the best of all times. A boy called Akala. I don't know if you've heard Akala. He's from London. Absolutely fucking phenomenal. I swear to God.
Akala, I didn't
You need to listen to this boy.
Yeah, I'll check him out.
He's the Donny British. He's our modern day
What year
William
was he
Shakespeare.
then?
He's kicking about the now. He's been on the scene since maybe about, I'd like to say about 10, 15 years now. He's like one of the OGs in the British scene, but he's fucking unbelievable. He's Miss Dynamite's brother. Mind of her?
Oh,
Miss Dynamite. Yeah, he's better than her, like. But fucking a wee trivial fact for you, but you should check him out, Akala. He's brilliant. Not just his music as well. Like he's a bit of an activist, a political sort of figure as well, and he's fucking mega smart, fucking mega interesting, and his lyrics are second to none. Like definitely the best on this island, I'd say.
Are you drawn to a lot of rappers that talk about current affairs and stuff?
Aye, obviously there's a fucking vast majority of hip hop or rap or grime that doesn't really fucking speak to me because.
Can't
singing
relate
about
to
I'm
it.
not into I'm not in a fucking gang, and I'm not. Again, do you know what I mean? I'm not fucking bothered my arse what car I drive. You know what I mean? So running about in a bucket of shite. I'm not going to listen to folk fucking rapping about their fucking Lamborghini. I'm not going to resonate with it anyway. So
It's a good point, actually.
a political thing. It fucking speaks to everybody. Everybody should be interested in what the fuck's going on in the world outside their house. So, He's until very recently, old style rap, the old school was definitely what I was drawn to, what I was inspired by. Until very recently, till discovered Akala, and I fucking can't really listen to much other rappers. But
I'm gonna listen to them.
It's unbelievable how good this boy is.
So what do you think of grime?
Again, it's started growing on me since I discovered him because he's.
I'm the same, man.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. What's in the mainstream of grime just now? I didn't even think you could call it grime. It's fucking pop like the rest of it. You know what I mean? But I definitely, if you look sort of into the underground, the British grime music, then there is fucking really really talented artists out there. Like,
I want to kind of ask you about like what the Scottish hip hop scene's like, because I don't know anything about.
Again, like fucking, if you look for it, like there's definitely a lot of really really good.
Shogun's good.
Shogun's brilliant. Joe's a really talented boy. Fucking taking it by his storm. He's actually put the Scottish scene on the map with that Vulcan track he put out. I think it was something like fucking 5 million views on YouTube. It was ridiculous. But he's awesome.
You've got like Young Fathers and stuff like that. They're from Edinburgh.
Young Fathers are good. They're just making waves, as they say. A good band. But there's a boy called McCroy, another Glaswegian boy. He's kind of grime, really really good as well. There used to be a band, Hector Berserk, when I was in Cherry Diesel.
I remember them.
We used to support them a lot when they were sort of doing a lot of their Scottish stuff, and they were good. Another band called Simmons is Old. Their frontman's a boy called Mog. He's a really talented OG fucking Scottish hip hop artist as well. So I mean, if it's what you're interested in, there's definitely fucking world class talent in Scotland. Aye,
Just you got to look for it.
you just got to be sort of interested in the scene, I suppose. Aye.
When was the first time, like, you got like interacted with music, started interacting with bands and stuff? Because did you start off hip hop, or was it right in a band?
Wolf Monkey is what I started off.
Was that when you started?
Aye. It was the first things I ever done in music was a fucking acoustic guitar, and then fucking after about 4 years of trying how to learn 3 chords on that, I started writing. It was mere fucking sing-songy fucking songs I used to write. I was right when I first started learning guitar. I was probably about 18, 19. But then I was right into like The View, The Cooks, and fucking all the summary Tea in the Park. It was a Tea in the Park era, and that's the sort of stuff I was into. Razorlight, and they were all that sort of era was big at the time. So that's what got me into music. Done that for a while. Started Wolf Monkey. In fact, I'm sure we played. Your first gig was we were
going to mention that. So
Aye.
the first time I met you was a Wolf Monkey gig. Was it in the Windsor?
It was the
in
Windsor.
Kirkcaldy?
I minded that a fucking long time ago.
I'm feeling old.
Aye.
And it was who is it that put on the gig? Stuart Watson.
Rubber stamp one. I'm sure.
Shout out to Stuart.
Stuarty boy. Aye. You know.
Straight out of Cowden as well.
Fucking C unit.
So Wolf Monkey, that was what type of music would you say Wolf Monkey was?
A fucking racket.
A good racket.
It was all about the fucking show with Wolf Monkey. The songs were two boys who'd learnt 3 chords between them. Fucking just having a laugh to start with. We were just fucking about in my pal Sean's house with the onesies on, and that would just come by chance. We both fucking had onesies. I don't know what the fuck that was all about.
The big gorilla onesies on stage.
It was fucking madness, man. But aye, that's that. And it was football songs we used to sing. We wrote songs for the Cow and Beef because we used to go to the Cow and Beef games all the time. So that's what started. Then after that, we'd had fucking gigs where we played. We had Bluebell, the fucking coo for Cow and Beef, the mascot, who used to come to our gigs and play the tambourine for us.
So you joined a band, Cherry Diesel, or you made a band, Cherry Diesel, after Wolf Monkey?
Cherry Diesel was my baby.
Cherry Diesel's kind of like Rage Against the Machine sort of inspired.
That's what I was getting to next. Like, I always fucking... some bands that have never left me since I was a wee boy, since I first started listening to music. There's some bands that I listened to when I was fucking 9-10 year old that have never left me. I still listen to them fucking constantly, and it's like Rage Against the Machine, Limp Bizkit, Linkin Park, and I just think the music with the rap, kind of the big sound and rock music with the rap vocals is just always absolutely tickled
Must
my
be
nuts.
mind blowing first hearing it, because if you're into rap and then you're also into rock and that
hold
coming
on, man.
together,
The first time I heard Limp Bizkit, man, I think it was the first fucking semi I ever got.
really, there was nothing limp there.
My biscuit wasn't fucking limp that day. Like, fuck me, that was fucking wild.
So
A band I've never seen as well as Limp Bizkit. I fucking hope come somewhere close to me
cool
soon.
seeing them.
I was meant to again. They're still together. I do downloading that sometimes.
Alright.
But I had fucking tickets for Rage Against the Machine this year at Leeds Festival,
All right.
and that's fucked.
no, that's a gut.
Yeah,
So have you
shut
seen? Oh, the first time you seen them was at Tea in the Park.
I seen them 2006, 2007. I can't remember exactly what year. It was one of them. And that was the first. I'd never really listened to them much, but I fucking seen them live at Tea in the Park, and I was like, oh my fucking god, that was like
They're one of the best live bands
something I'd
ever,
never
I think.
seen as well. I was like, that's just fucking jaw dropping. And then that was me again. That's been fucking
Changed you.
13, 14 years. Absolutely fucking hooked on them as well.
So when you joined Cherry Diesel, it's quite heavily influenced by Rage Against the Machine, but you've got a bit more to it, a bit more of like a groove
Well,
and hip hop lyrics.
I think the Rage Against the Machine influence kind of comes from me and Chuff. where it's my lyrics are rap lyrics, which is obviously got its similarities, and Chuff's bass lines, because he's like me, he's an absolute diehard Rage fan as well. So it's his bass lines that I think we get the similarities for, because if you listen to Pat's guitar riffs, are quite funk, quite disco. You know what I mean? And that's where that's his forte, as it is. Yeah, he's the funk soul brother. So, aye, that's where the funk comes in. It's wee Pat.
See, the funny thing that I laugh about with Cherry Diesel, well, I didn't laugh about it. I do a wee bit, in fact, is these are like, I still say it to this day, they're one of the best bands that's ever fucking graced this studio. Sound wise, one of the best sounding buys that's ever been here, but these are just so fucking laid back about it.
Oh, but it's not even
funny.
laid back. If we were any more laid back, I swear we'd be fucking upside down.
But it's funny because everybody's like a fucking, like, you've obviously got really good lyrics and like the hip hop fucking vibe, and then you've got the stage presence. Pat's like fucking phenomenal on the guitar, and he's a funk soul brother. He's got the look in that on stage. Mikey is like an all round. He plays drums. He's like the all round fucking amazing musician. I remember coming in here once, and I heard someone on the piano. I thought it was fucking Mozart. It was Mikey just sitting there playing away. And then Chuff's like, he reminds me of Manny for the Stone Roses. He's just got a groove. It's like every one of them's fucking got their own thing. But
Fucking
he's a
brilliant band. And as I say, I don't think we've ever played a band where we've had negative feedback. You get what I mean? I was impressed, but it's.
Oh, you showed us about PJs last year, like.
Fuck, it's not about showing you up, man. You were absolutely brilliant that night as well.
Cheers,
it was a great night.
Appreciate it.
But no, it comes down to fucking, I suppose, drive. Do you know what I mean? So I feel I've always had fucking drive. Do you know what I mean? Like, but I can't force other folk to.
So you would say you were definitely the most vocal about wanting to push the band and get gigs?
I mean, we tried it, but shit happened. I mean, fucking.
It's like an age thing as well. If people's got like.
Careful.
He's an arm's length away for you.
That was quick there.
Steady on, cowboy. No.
So, go and give us the story and when you played with Catfish and the Bottlemen at PG's.
Oh man, didn't he? Well, to start with, I mean, Catfish and the Bottlemen, fucking hell. How the fuck in a band of 4 boys, 5 boys at the time, was I the only cunt that had heard of them? For a start, I'm like buzzing that would be nice to play, fucking go to the boys together for band practice, and I'm like, boys fucking been offered a belter of a gig, like, what is it? I was like, you're not going to believe this. They're like, tell me. I was like, we're going to be supporting Catfish and the Bottlemen. They're like, you what? Catfish and the what? I was like, what? You never heard Catfish and the Bottlemen? It's like, fucking nut. It's like, well, they're pretty fucking big time, like, they're getting there anyway. Well, this was, they were fucking, they were starting to fucking snowball. They were starting to snowball at the time. Like, they hadn't taken the big jump yet, but they were borderline. They were probably at the time, like, PJs were lucky they had booked them when they booked them, because at the point they were playing PJs, they were probably I don't want to say fucking, get what I mean? Like, they were fucking selling out big fucking venues at the time as well. So
was that a busy gig?
It was fucking heaving. It was a sellout. It was a sellout. It was and that's when it kind of sunk into the boys. Like, fucking hell, they're quite a well-known gig. There was fucking folk everywhere there to see them. But in true Cherry Diesel style, we absolutely fucking commandeered the band room at PJ's and fucking done our 30-second sound check and then just dived straight onto the couches and cracked open the fucking fridge. All the booze, like, we were the first one and this fucking still feel entitled to the whole 30 cans that's in the fucking fridge, Ken. And whatever else. So I were fucking tanning away at the drink. They didn't show up. They'd already sound checked way in the day, so they weren't here when we were there. They showed up maybe fucking, I don't know, 5-10 minutes before we were going on. They showed up, and at the time they were young boys, like they were like fucking 18, 19 and that. We English were fucking lovely boys, like really sound. But they were terrified. Absolutely fucking terrified. I've never seen fucking Van McCann look so fucking gaunt in my life. He was peeking round that door like fucking, what's her name? Moaning Myrtle. That's what it looked like. Again, floating about, fucking wondering if it was alright to come in.
I mean, that band room in PJ's, I mean, I would have looked in there if it was empty.
It's daunting. It's like the fucking chokey off Matilda.
With the nails included. Like,
you started the hip hop thing about 2018. You were the first artist that I had ever produced in here.
That's right.
It was good for me to like try and learn the craft because it was before obviously you joined us.
Yeah.
You and Scott.
Well,
I'd never produced anybody before, so it was but it was quite easy-ish because it was obviously that you already had the beats, so I only had to record vocals really. But it was a good learning experience to like try and get the best out of you.
Editing
And then,
takes and stuff. That's a
I know.
great. That's a
and
great
then getting the best at the artists. So it was a perfect start, I think, for me to go on and record bands. And obviously we've had a good relationship since then, done loads of songs together. But that was about 2018, and it was. What was the first tune we done?
Red Alert.
Red Alert
was the first
that
one.
was
We done a few wee bits and bobs
I'm
and
sure
sort of
did we
demo
know-
sort of stuff and that before, but
We done Bad Luck, a demo with Bad Luck,
Aye.
before Red
Aye.
Alert, but
and that
obviously
sat
never
there, we
released.
never released it for
But
a
Red
couple of
Alert,
years.
that's got fucking brilliant lyrics in it.
Cheers, man. Cheers. I actually wrote that I wrote that to be a Cherry Diesel track, believe it or not, but we could just never ever get the feel for it. And then I eventually got a producer who sort of made me a synthetic beat, but kind of understood where I was going with it and what I wanted. So it's quite a simple concept, I suppose, but it just didn't work with a full band. It's, you know what I mean? The piano and the snare drums.
It works
Oh, it
with
needs
that
it.
song.
That's all it needs, and it was hard to sort of replicate that feel with.
Who was the guy that made up the beats?
Tony Smoke.
Tony Smoke.
Tony Smoke. Big up
Tony
Tony
Smoke.
Smoke, a fucking talented producer.
Shout out Tony Smoke.
He's a man.
So what's the writing process like? Because you're saying you had that for a Cherry Diesel tune. Do you just write lyrics? Sort of similar to like poetry. Do you just write lyrics before the music, or do you need the music first?
Well, that track specifically, I wrote without music. I wrote that in my head, just pen and paper, like a poem. But if you listen to that track, that's different for probably all my other tracks. It's not got a hook or a break, or it's just a big
It's all about the
massive
lyrics,
3.5 minute verse. So it was wrote like that, intended to be recorded like that, and intended to sort of sound like just a one big piece. It's kind of unique in that sense with the rest of my music, because I always like to have big nasty hooks and synths and fucking bass lines. And
See, that's what got me with the Cherry Diesel tune the first time I had Renegade. That's a fucking great
that's
song.
great.
I wish I wrote that.
I wish I wrote that.
I do. I'm going to steal it off you one day.
I'll sell you.
But it's just got a hook in it as well. It's a fucking class song.
Cheers, man.
So
Mind we were in the other day, we were having a jam, and was it Lewis that was playing the bass? It was like,
Aye.
that sounds like
It
a
was
Cherry
actual-
Diesel
it was an
song.
actual like a Cherry Diesel song. I'm sure it was in the same key as Renegade. I was like, I better watch myself. You're right. I'm going to hear Lee at the door, chatting the door.
Fuck you, cunnies are making me want to start fucking jamming in here. Sitting in here surrounded by drum kits and musicians and fucking.
We'll do it, man.
should
We'll
do
do
it,
it
man.
after this.
Aye.
We'll crack
fucking
open
right.
that chamber of secrets that you brought with you.
I will.
And we'll let the love flow.
We'll put the camera off before we let the green genie in. Aye.
The Green Genie. So, your first gig as a solo artist was supporting the Shams at
What
Lorenzo's.
a gig to
What
be
a
a
gig.
fucking
What it
debut
is, yeah.
gig.
What a shite time we were both having at the same time.
Oh man, that was an emotional roller coaster. That to carry on, but fuck me, it was brilliant.
It was a good night. It was a night to let off some steam.
It was rock and roll as fuck.
Funnily enough, our life seemed to be just both of us. Both of our lives seemed to be falling to bits.
I just
The week
eroded
before
beneath
that
us.
fucking gig, and it was obviously the Shams' biggest gig at the time, Lee's debut gig at the time,
And the wheels fell off it over fucking night.
we just hid in here and hoped that it would fucking be alright. But that was a good time, because then we just recorded loads of demos.
That gig is up there with, I'd say, probably my favourite gig I've ever played. That
Was it?
was, it
Really?
was brilliant, man.
It was a good
Brilliant.
night.
Like, even just like back in with that wee fucking back room at Lorenzo's, where everybody's sitting getting tanned and jamming, and I'd fucking Donald on the phone to me doing interviews while I'm sitting out my fucking nips.
Is that Donald Mackin?
Aye, Donald.
Shout out to
DJ,
Donald Mackin.
DJ Donald, my boy. But aye, that was fucking brilliant night. And then obviously what played out after it, we were back in this
very gauntlet.
this very building, getting naughty. And we end up being the fucking DJs at PJ's. The DJs at PJ's. Fucking hell. We were the PJ House DJs at fucking hell, man. out our nips. What the fuck were we doing? I can't even
remember.
We had a pure big full rig out fucking Technica sound system like we were fucking Carol Cox. We had a fucking iPhone 5 smashed to fucking bits, plugged into the aux cable, like fucking getting it loud. I think we were the Swedish House Mafia. Fuck's going on here, cunt? Folk taking photos and that, man, and my fucking jaws burning vinyl. It's scratching with my face.
So we were kind of talking the other day, obviously live gigs have kind of came back, but in a sort of slightly different form. What do you think about these driving gigs that have been announced?
The driving gigs, I've never heard fuck all about it. What's that? No.
Time for a bit of education.
Yeah, totally. Hit me with some knowledge, Scotty Paws.
We actually didn't even talk about
wise one.
It was him. It was you that came up with Scotty Paws.
But I watched the one with the two of yous and Lewis that he's done.
Tester run.
Forbes sent me it last night, and the first thing I took for that, although it was brilliant, the first thing I seen was you introduced the Scotty Paws, and I'm like, I am so fucking proud that name stuck. I'm like, fucking hell.
Everybody calls me that. Like,
good,
everybody.
that's fucking so fitting. You've got the pause. Like, fuck me, I've never heard a fucking clap like that. It is like perfect thunder. It's like, fuck me.
Perfect thunder.
Fucking hell.
I'll never forget when I
Little
introduced...
John can't thunder clap like that. Fucking hell, you'd got a gig with Usher.
I should get him on the phone. I'll never forget the time I introduced you to my bird at PJ's and you said I had the clap.
Yes. You getting your man's got the clap. The clap. By the way.
clap.
The clap.
It's funny how that name just came.
I know.
For
It's
a recording session in here.
Yeah.
You ever heard a clap like that?
Nah, it's a clap like.
It's like pitch perfect.
Clap.
Fuck me.
Give us a wee rendition.
Right.
Watch this for a pause.
Just a singular clap.
Go for it.
That's what we need.
My fucking word. Honestly, it's like a dog whistle. Like you need pure fucking refined hearing to fucking
Comprehend,
even fucking receive it. Fuck me. I was outside in a fag there and they done a test clap and I come fucking running up the stair.
Oh my god. Oh Lord.
Scratching at the door again. I'm looking forward to
Should we
it.
wrap it up?
Aye. So thanks very much for coming on.
You're very welcome.
Cheers for coming on, my man.
Aye.
And can't wait to get you back in here and record some bangers.
Can't wait. It's been a pleasure.
Cheers,
Thanks very
my
much,
man.
my boys.
Make sure you tune in to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and like us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Cheers again, Lee JC, for joining us.
Peace out, my
Legend.
boys. Cheers.
Let's
very
get
much.
this green genie out and enjoy ourselves. Boom, we're finished. Cheers.